I am still speechless from last night's episode of NBC Found. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Lawrence Support Times broadcast discussing episode 8 of NBC Found, Missing While Haunted. And like I said, y'all, the episode was so good. I am still speechless about the episode. Wow, wow, wow. That was some good writing, some good pacing. That was a great story with the case. Oh my God. And all the characters, Margaret, Zeke, Gabi, Don, everybody had great messages. It was so emotional. It was very heartfelt. Like, I could not stop thinking about the episode last night, y'all. But before we get started, it'd be great. Appreciate you guys. Hit the subscribe button, like, and please do not forget to comment. Let's talk about episode 8 of NBC Found, Missing While Haunted. Now, this right here is the mid-season finale, so they'll be back in a couple months. You know, they typically break it up one session, then the following session comes back the following year. So that's how they did it this time, because, you know, we had 22 plus episodes, right? Whew. It was good, y'all. I'm sorry. I am sorry. That was a great episode. They left it all out on the table, y'all. Let's talk about Found. So, the case is called Missing While Being Haunted, right? Because I'm going to meet a young girl by the name of Stevie. She's like, listen, my mother is missing, right? And we've been on a run from this man by the name of McCain. And the thing about it, whenever you're trying to escape a monster, right? Like Sir, a monster like who we thought was Kane, right? It plays with your mental health, right? Because you're always constantly peeking over your shoulder. You're always looking left. You're always looking right. So that's why I thought that this case right here was actually one of the best cases I've seen of this season. This right here is actually Jamie's birthday, right? And I love how in this episode, they actually showed us, you know, how Jamie ended up disappearing, right? Margaret, she's spiraling out of control. She's going through it. She's blaming herself, right? She even talked to Don's man, Ethan, you know, trying to get him to help her forget some of the memories, right? And he's like, I don't know if I can do that right there. Like, maybe these memories are here to try to help you figure things out, right? But like I said, we got a chance to see the backstory of Margaret. When it came to her son Jamie, it was at that bus station, right? And we all saw the episode last night. But basically, Jamie was getting on her nerves, and she but basically brushed him away, like, go somewhere else to go play, right? She's doing his crossword puzzles, and he went somewhere else, but somebody else snatched him up, and from there, we never saw Jamie again. But her daughter is actually on this episode as well. And now Margaret, she's thinking about, you know, committing suicide, right? Like going into the lake. She's constantly blaming herself, and I get it, right? But you know, Don is there to calm her down, to bring some peace to her, letting her know that. And I love Don so much. That's one of my favorite characters. He was like, listen, if you go out there to drown, I'm going with you, because all y'all mean so much to me. Like, everybody at M&A, we are a family, right? So, you know, when it came to Jamie, her daughter, you know, the daughter basically said, Mom, I love you. I forgive you about, you know, everything that's been going on with Jamie. So my heart goes out to Margaret. I think we all have a love-hate relationship with Margaret, right? Now, I didn't talk too much about Gabi and when it came to that letter. I don't think I really focused on the last episode. And you know, when it comes to Gabi, you know, Sir is still out here on the hunt, right? And on that letter, Zeke got the tech. You're not supposed to have a tech, but he got the tech or whatever. He's been breaking into Trent's police department, and there's a letter for Gabi. And basically, Sir wants to meet up with Gabi back at high school, right? That's where it all started at, back at school. And he's on the intercom. He says, hello, Gabrielle. You know how he talks. And that's how it ends, you know, with them two. That was the main focus of my thought about Gabi last night, right? And speaking of Sir, oh my God, my poor boy, Zeke. My guy, Zeke. Y'all, apparently, Sir shows up to Zeke's place, right? And I'm like, so Zeke, you didn't think to check security first? Like, you just open up the door? And the thing about it, Sir is able to get Zeke outside. And, you know, Zeke is trying to defend himself that bad ain't helping, brother. He's swinging so hard. Sir is out here dodging it left and right. But Sir says, listen, I'm going to fix all of you, right? Um, I'm going to fix all of you. And at the same time, when I do this right here, you're not going to be the same. So Sir is basically getting ready to haunt everybody one by one. That's what he's about to do. He's going to pick them off all individually, I believe, and separate them to a point where Gabi has to, well, she's already coming to Sir, but now she's going to bend to his will, right? So I'm like, dang, this man Sir is cold and calculated. He know where everybody stay. Everybody stay. Trent, can't stand him anymore. He was one of my favorite characters in the first season. Now I can't stand him. He basically tells Zeke that, listen, I know that you are still using tech, because Zeke, Zeke made me laugh. Zeke ended up calling Amazon. I'm just joking. Not Amazon. I'm just joking. But he did say he got some extra tech from like a third party, right? And Trent knows all about it. So now Zeke can't even use no tech. So I don't know how Zeke is going to be able to maneuver. That's going to be interesting in itself. And I don't know if it's just me, right? But I have got to stop looking at these promotional trailers that they be giving. Because them promotional trailers be giving out some fibs. I'm going to give you an example. So in the last trailer, we saw Trent going at it. And I thought maybe it was Sir, right? They're going at back and forth. Turns out it's not even Sir. It's somebody else. I'm like, listen, man. I'm not looking at no more trailers. I'm not looking at no more trailers. Because them trailers have you thinking it's one thing, but something completely different. And we find out it was a boy that was basically interested in Stevie. The young girl who showed up at M&A talking about, I think he was, basically training her to learn how to fight. But no more trailers for me. I'm not looking at no more promotional trailers, y'all. No more. Because I'm still waiting for Sir and Trent to go at it. I'm still waiting. So the actual case in itself revolves around by a young lady by the name of Stevie. She finds Gabi and them at M&A, asking for help because her mother basically went missing. Her mother was named Alice, right? Now the mother's also battling, schizophrenia and psychosis, right? She ain't been taking her medicine, nothing like that. And she's believed to have these mental problems because she's saying that a man by the name of Kane has been basically following, her daughter and her as well. And this was a big trigger when it came to Gabi, when it came to Lacey. We saw the not throwback, but the flashback episodes, flashback scenarios, I meant to say, from last night, right? Because it was such a triggering thing, because it's called missing while being haunted, right? Because you're dealing with everything from your past, right? So it turns out that Kane is not even a real person per se, right? But the issue that looms is that, well, what happened at the end of the day, when it came to the mother, she was found at the graveyard, and that's where her father was laying rest. And Gabi tells a story about how she know what it feels like whenever you miss your father, whenever you miss that loved one, right? And it kind of broke my heart at the same time, because I'm thinking about Lacey, I'm thinking about Gabi, I'm thinking about Alice, I'm thinking about the daughter, and all of them, when it came to them missing a loved one and feeling like somebody's constantly haunting you at the end of the day, right? But of course, thankfully, she was, she's alive, right? And she was at the hospital reunited with her family, right? I think it was the daughter, and I think the other person was her mother, which would have been the other woman's grandmother, if I'm not mistaken. So all three of them was united, which was good, right? So of course I say welcome home, and that's how it ends. But I also do not like how Gabi, she's blaming herself for everything that's going on with Margaret. Margaret is a grown woman, right? Margaret has to face those demons on her own, right? Yeah, Gabi may have took some of the blame, right? But majority of the stuff, I need Margaret to step up eventually. Hopefully in the second half of the season, she'll step up and say, "Listen, Gabi, I forgive you. I got my Margaret vision back. I'm going to be okay." That's what I'm hoping was going to happen in the second half of the season per se. But yeah, that's how it basically ends. We got a while before it comes back. Man, you know it. I just tell people, if they're not watching this right here, start from the beginning. If you ain't watching it, I need y'all to start from the beginning, because when I say this is prime time, y'all, prime time television that you must be watching every Thursday at 10 o'clock. Please watch NBC Found. I cannot wait for the second half. I don't know what's going to happen with Sir. I don't know what's going to happen with Gabi, Don, Ethan, Zeke, Lacey, Trent, Gabi. It's about to go down. This was a great episode. I loved it so much. And as always, thank you guys for tuning in to the Lawrence Report.